Hey guys, welcome to the video. So the keto diet, is it good for weight loss? Can it help you lose weight long term? For me, it's just another unsustainable fad diet like a lot of the others. And in this video, I'm going to explain why that is, why I feel that is. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to be showing you exactly what you need to do instead to lose weight properly, enjoying your food and for long term. So first of all, what is keto? So keto, or the ketogenic diet, as it's properly known, was a diet developed for epilepsy. So they found that people that ate in this way has reduced epilepsy episodes. And the ketogenic diet is basically a very high fat, moderate protein, and very low carb diet. And because you're reducing carbohydrates so much, your body is using energy from fat. So it's producing ketones, where the name comes from, to produce energy, and which your body uses for daily life, instead of the carbohydrates, which you would otherwise use if those were available. And what most people think is that because you're using fat, you are burning body fat. That's a little bit of a misconception, because just because you are using fat does not mean you are losing fat from your body. If you are eating fat, you'll be burning that fat. But unless you are in a calorie deficit, so like any diet, eating less than your body needs, you will not be losing fat, you'll not be losing weight. So there's nothing different between this diet and any other diet in terms of what it produces of effects. It's not magic. It's just the fact that actually it produces some rules which help people lose weight. So the way that keto helps people lose weight is that because it's high fat, low carbohydrates, you can't eat certain things. So you can't eat pizza, you can't eat pasta, you can't eat ice cream, you can't eat cookies, you can't eat chocolate. So in actual fact, you're cutting out all these foods that were probably the foods that led you to being overweight in the first place. And so there's nothing special about the ketogenic diet. It's just created these rules where you can't have the things that made you overweight. That's as simple as it is. And it's just reduce your calories enough to then help you lose weight. And I feel a lot of people use the keto diet to get around problems with emotional eating, cravings, urges that they don't know how to deal with otherwise. So instead of tackling it properly, they're cutting out the food groups completely and not having any of that chocolate, cake, cookies, ice cream, pizza, pasta, things like that. And yes, it can help you lose weight, because like with any diet, as I mentioned before, if you're reducing your calories enough to be eating less than your body needs, you will lose weight. But the question comes in terms of the sustainability of the diet and how long you're going to do that. So the first big problem to be aware of with the keto diet for many people, super important, are the health effects. So for many people, eating a high fat diet, especially high in saturated fat, can increase their LDL cholesterol and their triglycerides. And this has a huge impact over life in terms of your susceptibility to heart attacks and stroke. And there's a study on this here. There's lots of research done into this. It's not something that happens to everyone, but you don't know if it's going to happen to you. So it's super important to be aware of this, that you're doing something that can possibly have super risky health effects, when in actual fact, you're doing the whole diet in the first place probably to improve your health. So be very aware of this. Number two, the next thing to understand is to remember the difference between weight loss and fat loss. So it's very common to lose a lot of weight in the first week of doing keto. And it's weight, remember that. So the reason is that in the first week of doing keto, your body is using up the carb stores which are left over. And you're holding around 500 grams of carbs in your body. And for every 1 gram of carbs, you hold about 3 grams of water. So you can actually drop 2 kilograms or 4.4 pounds just through carb and water weight in the first week of doing keto. And let's say you were actually in a calorie deficit while doing that, you could lose around 3 kilograms or 6.5 pounds in just 1 week. And that's why there's a combination of all this carb depletion and water depletion along with the normal weight loss that you get from doing any diet where you were in a calorie deficit. And the next reason is the unsustainability of the diet. Going out with friends, enjoying foods that you really like, how's that going to work out? So all these things I mentioned before, the cake, the cookies, the ice cream, chocolate, bread, pasta, pizza, things like that, can you honestly say you're never going to eat those again? Like never, ever? And if that's true, if you can honestly say that's true, go back to the bit about the health I mentioned before, the health reasons. But if not, then what's going to happen when you finish or stop this diet? You're going to pile a load of weight back on. All that carb and water weight will come back on to start with. And also, you've not learned how to eat in a proper way to lose weight. So you end up back where you were before. And so it's an unsustainable diet in the long run. Yes, you can get some quick weight loss, but that's not what you really want, is it? You want to look smaller, you want to feel better, you want to have more confidence. And reason number 5, like I mentioned in a lot of my videos, cutting out foods can cause you to end up binging because of the way the mind works. So the unconscious mind doesn't process negative instructions. So if I say to you, don't think of a pink elephant, what comes into your mind? A pink elephant, right? And the same thing with things like chocolate, cake, cookies. And when you use your willpower and say to yourself, I'm not going to eat chocolate, I'm not going to eat cake, I'm going to be really good, I'm going to avoid this, I'm going to avoid that. What you're doing is you have to imagine those to do that, right? And when we couple this with mental rehearsal and mental practice, which is what, say, for example, actors or sports players do, they close their eyes and kind of go over in their head things and practice them. So an actor will go over their lines. They don't necessarily need to close their eyes. They can do it with their eyes open. Going over their lines in their head. Or a sports player can imagine kicking a ball or swinging a racket. And they get better at doing these things without actually having to physically do them. So when we think about, the chocolate then, I'm not going to eat chocolate, I'm going to be really good and not eat that chocolate, you're continuously practicing this in your mind. So when you do come to actually eat it, when you either have a day off the diet or you stop it or you just cannot handle it anymore, what have you done? You've practiced it so much that that's the thing you go and do. Even if you just say, I'm just going to have a taste, you often find yourself losing control. And your brain's like, we don't know when we're going to get a chance to do this again, so we may as well just make the most of it. So you end up having a binge. And it can obviously make you feel guilty and all the repercussions of that as well. And I just want to add as well, there are plenty of people out there that say they are getting good results with keto, but just if you are one of these people, or if one of these people is around you, ask them or yourself the question of, have you reached your goal? Are you still in the process? Have you reached your goal? And have you maintained that goal for an extended period of time? So 1 to 2 years. And if you have, how is your mental health around food and other things? And how is your health? Have you had a cholesterol check? Is your health in good order? Or is your LDL cholesterol elevating? So that's really important to check as well. So for me, the keto diet is just another unsustainable fad diet with some serious potential health effects there. And so the question is, what to do instead? Why not just eat a balanced diet of protein, carbohydrates, and fats in good amounts, but also in amounts that enable you to lose weight? Because that's entirely possible as well. And I get why people don't do it because of their struggle with emotional eating and things like that. So they find themselves being pulled back constantly or not knowing what to eat. But that's why I work with clients and help them with these things. So down in the description below, I have included my free food structure guide, how to eat in a way without doing fad diets, how to structure your food and how to still lose weight. And also down there is a link to my free webinar on binge eating, emotional eating, why you get it and how to fix it. So if you would like to register for that, that link is in the description below. Pick your preferred day and time and I will see you there. So for now, guys, that is it. Let me know what you think. Have you tried keto before? Has it worked for you? Has it given you some bad side effects? Have you sustained it for a long period of time? Have you got results in it? I'd love to hear your feedback. And as always, like down there, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video.